Well, wonderful. Thank you all for joining us. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm talking with you all a bit about JABA, Jefferson Area Board for Aging. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute, and we'll go through a presentation together that will explain a bit more about the agency and the different departments and our programs and services. My name is Emily Foreman. I manage our senior nutrition programs. So that includes our community senior centers and our home delivered meals program and our newly established At Home with JABA program, which is a direct result of this amazing year we've been through that included a pandemic. So we're really excited about it. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. But before we get started, I just ask who's joining us on the call to please mute. And if you wouldn't mind turning off your video, and then at the end of the presentation, we can turn it back on and take any questions you might have. So right now I'm going to share my screen and pull up a presentation. Hopefully you guys can all see that. And I'm going to put it in a different view, obviously. Or try to anyway. Here we go.
Hey, Emily, I think it's far right under view. See at the top there?
Oh, here?
Yeah, I believe so. I think you can click on that and yep.
There we are.
And then you can hit slideshow or.
In the heck? Oh.
Here we go. There you go. You're getting there.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So yes, we're here to speak with you about Jefferson Area Board for Aging. Some of you may be familiar with our agency, but if not, no problem. We will go through it all. And if you have any questions, please just save them till the end, write them down, and we'll do our best to address them. And thank you all for being here. And just a reminder to mute your sound and video off until the end. JABA, Jefferson Area Board for Aging, this is our mission. We seek to promote, establish, and preserve sustainable communities for healthy aging that benefit individuals and families of all ages. And a big part of JABA's mission and what we do in the community is obviously our partnerships. So we were established in 1975 out of the Older Americans Act of 1965. And just to give you a little bit of background, this act is responsible for the development of area agencies on aging throughout the country, which is what JABA is. As many of you might know, these federal funds that were provided were designated to the states to provide these services, as it was increasingly apparent that aging Americans were without critical resources and supports, especially in rural isolated locations. Since the establishment of JABA, our agency has worked very hard and beyond the original mandate to establish and implement community-based diverse programs. Our focus is on providing varying levels of support for individuals and families, encouraging a healthy and active lifestyle, and ensuring caregivers and those in need of care have resources available. Our volunteer department has a wealth of opportunities to the community, and we do engage countless volunteers through the act of service to and for others. Our cornerstones are healthy aging, intergenerational, and sustainability. These are the foundation of our department planning and therefore our program goals. We do remain committed to ensuring communities have accessibility to needed resources and services to ensure healthy aging and support for individuals and families. Intergenerational programming is a forefront to all that we do, as the benefits of multi-generational interactions are endless and educational, emotionally and mentally. And sustainability are the efforts made to explore how we best keep our programs intact, funded, and thriving so that the needs of current populations and generations to come continue to be met. So we are firm believers aging starts from the day we are born, and I'm sure that you all would agree with us. I believe that often gets overlooked. A lot of what is really important to JABA is that we make sure that we are there for the entire journey, that services and supports help you age in the community of your choice. So from when you have to begin to start making some decisions and thinking ahead to where you want to spend your time and age is very important. Some of these slides I'll go a little bit more quickly through, but I want to give you an understanding of how we program plan. These values are very important to how we build our programming and play a big role when we are meeting to discuss our strategic plan, how we best serve the community, our partnerships, and always with the forefront of making sure we are not forgetting what is most important in terms of community service to those most in need. So yes, there's our main office off of Hillsdale Drive. We've been planning district for 43 years. We were established in 1975. We operate within the 6 jurisdictions, and I believe it's Blue Ridge Health District, I believe is instead of Thomas Jefferson Planning District now, but our main office is in Charlottesville, but we do provide, we have offices, centers in each of these counties, and provide services and programming throughout the area. So these are some quick snapshots of our community and give pretty good reason to why agencies like JABA and obviously Meals on Wheels are very critical for the elders in our community. By 2030, 1 out of every 5 residents in Planning District 10 will be 65 or older. There is increasing numbers of older adults in our area, and very many live without the consistent supports in place. So obviously, making sure that we are all working together to provide those needed services to others. And 9% live at or below the poverty level. So as we are seeking to provide these programs and services to our community, obviously making sure that we are taking into consideration some of the challenges that we face as we move forward. We certainly are seeing a lot of retirees moving to the area, and what becomes really critical is making sure that we are advocating properly for what we do provide to the community, and what JABA and our partners do together is important, and I think is always a very strong example of community collaborations. We are able to say, look at what we're able to achieve together for what we are provided and funded. So this is important and helps us grow our advocacy and how we build our budget requests. And just an idea of how we meet our monetary challenges and how JABA is funded. And now I'm going to walk through some of our specific departments and the programs and services that we provide. Our information and assistance, I guess you could say that this is almost like the front door of JABA. So when someone is maybe perhaps looking for exactly where to get started, there's been a slight change in their health or condition or their home, looking for housing, have family members moving into the area, moving away from the area, just aren't quite sure where to get started, our information and assistance department is there to just take those questions and help create and clear the path for you for a little bit. A lot of referrals happen. We take a lot of phone calls and are able to refer out to the community quite a bit. So yeah, it's similar to the front door of the journey. Our options counseling department, I'm going to let Casey speak a little bit about her role and what she does with JABA, but these are the individuals, a lot of them do take those referrals from the information and assistance department when they are working with the individual to figure out exactly what their goals are. So Casey, if you want to unmute and talk a little bit about what you typically do within your role at JABA.
Yes. So as an options counselor, we have one that covers every jurisdiction. So I work specifically with Louisa County residents. And how it works is we'll get a referral either from information and assistance, outside agencies refer to us, family members call. And it basically just starts with they're looking for something, some help with, they need meals or home care, transportation, someone to help with chores, personal care. They come to us with a gamut of things. So what we will do is I will do an assessment with them to kind of figure out, you know, what they're looking for exactly. And then I'll do what we consider our options counseling, and I'll give them options of services that we provide through JABA or outside services. And I help them get connected with who they need to get connected to so that they can stay aging in their house, or if they want to move, we get them connected with those people. And basically we just help with anything and everything that we possibly can. So we can provide applications, but if they want to help with filling out their application, I'll help them fill out applications for SNAP, Medicaid, anything, you name it, we do it. And we work with those who are 60 years and older, or 18 with a disability. Yeah, that's just a run through kind of what I do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Casey. And we'll probably get into this a little bit later on, but previously in our partnership with Meals on Wheels and our current partnerships, the referrals to Meals on Wheels after meeting with the individual and determining that they would indeed prefer to have a Meals on Wheels delivery, the referral would most likely come from the options counselor or the INA department, but more than likely an options counselor. So what we've really enjoyed is the relationship that our option counselors and staff affiliated with our home delivered meals program have with Meals on Wheels. It's a true partnership in meeting a very important community need. Our community senior centers, so when we're thinking about individuals in the community and their accessibility to service and programming, these individuals who come to the community senior centers are able to come and participate, would not be defined as a homebound individual. They come, and we have a center in every county that you had seen before. And at those programs, we really believe in providing services that embrace mind, body, spirit, and community. So we seek to provide health presentations by our nurses that are part-time at each location, also other community health agencies. We offer exercise, we do variety of brain games and challenges. We did take, more field trips pre-pandemic, and we're hoping that sometime in the future we can begin to embrace that again. A lot of our partnerships are really important. We have intergenerational groups that come and participate in activities with them. Because of the pandemic, we've had to reevaluate how our volunteer department, how our volunteers engage with the program, but we're slowly able to build that back up again. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I did want to mention our At Home with JABA program, and I do encourage those who are listening to head to JABA's website, jabacares.org, and you'll see the At Home with JABA. and click on that, and you can get an idea of how we pivoted to make sure our programming was accessible to those who were unable to gather. We literally were told we can't gather at the center. So what do we do to continue to provide services and programming and also meal? So that is what At Home with JABA is. We have activities and programming that's available through Zoom, through conference calls, and we're really excited about it. And each participant in At Home with JABA receives an activity kit in the mail. And I especially want to encourage you all to check that out, as there may be some individuals who are receiving Meals on Wheels who might be interested in participating in At Home with JABA. We can, connect after the presentation and make sure that you're given the contact information. Because we do have some home delivered meals clients who are checking in on the conference calls, participating in bingo. So it's been pretty effective so far. This is about the nursing that happens at our centers. We have part-time nurses that come in and we'll do basic health screenings, some medication management, often act as an intervention between the member and their physician, advocating for some care and addressing questions and concerns and taking blood pressure and different things while they're at the center. Our chronic disease self-management program also occurs. We've been working to make that accessible online, given what's been going on, and we've been pleased by the level of participation in that as well. And again, it's interesting how what we've been through has created more accessibility. So I'm excited about some of the opportunities for your clients as well. Maybe their opportunity to participate in some of these things increases as a result of everything becoming technologically based. This is a little bit about our volunteer program. Our volunteers have been awesome, and I'm sure you all with Meals on Wheels can relate to is the level of engagement from the community with everything that's gone on. People are trying to find ways to give back, want to help, want to support, want to deliver, and they are just the backbone of our agency. And as I said, I'm sure you can relate to that. Our insurance counseling, this has been an important part of JABA, and we've been really proud of how this has really helped the community and given an opportunity for people to really save a lot of money on their Part D prescription plans. This is all the ways in which our volunteers are helping. They are trained to answer all kinds of questions about Medicare. And because of what happened, we have been able to offer this kind of service through the phone and also online as well. Oops, I'm sorry. That was some of our intergenerational initiatives. I skipped over that, but want to just draw attention to the FISH program. That was Friends in Schools Helping, and that's been a really important service provided to schools, especially now with volunteers helping keep the students engaged. Our Ombudsman program is seeing a lot of interesting cases currently. What they are is they will advocate for nursing home residents and resolve resident and family issues. So our volunteers will pre-pandemic go into nursing homes, spend time with patients, and seek to just create more communication bridges and work to resolve issues that might pop up. As a result of everything, we have been able to do our best through phone and other forms of connecting and communication, and are slowly able to visit back into the nursing homes again. Adult care centers, we have one at our Hillsdale location where you saw our main office, and we also have one in Louisa. These programs are day long and flexible schedules. The individuals who attend the adult care centers have more severe cognitive impairments, and some have diagnoses of Alzheimer's. And they are unable to live alone, so they are with a care provider. And this is geared towards providing respite for them. So there's variety of support and assistance given to these individuals. We have similar programs at the centers, but it's been a really amazing thing for families. It's a bit more of our intergenerational initiatives. We have a Shining Star Preschool, where I showed you where the main office is, to right to the right is where the Shining Star Preschool is. So what's wonderful is the children who attend that preschool engage with the clients of the adult care center, and they've been doing some really wonderful programming together, and they look for each other, which is always really heartwarming when they have found their buddy. Access to support is important. So kind of tying on to what Casey said in our information and assistance slide, we have positions that truly designated to making sure we are connecting people to the service of where they are at in their aging journey. So perhaps home delivered meals is the most suitable option for them to stay safe in their home and age in their choice. In-home care is also, we have some partners who provide in-home care. Dementia trained friendly visitor program. We have friendly visitor volunteers that will go and spend time with an individual, and are excited about our caregiver support groups that are beginning to increase in popularity. We've got a Facebook page dedicated to it, and I believe they're working on focusing a lot more attention on providing more caregiver support in our community. And it's a little bit more about that as well. The big role for caregivers, and oftentimes it's said that the one providing the care can sometimes their health can be more greatly impacted than the one who is receiving the care. So we take that very seriously and are working very hard to make sure that throughout the health district, we are providing similar options for accessing support, and also providing respite care for caregivers. Options counseling also is connected. As Casey said, they receive a variety of requests for support. And we take it very seriously to make sure we connect someone with exactly the right referral and the service that they need. And we are engaged with some senior housing as well. So that's a part of INA when someone is calling and looking for some support and assistance with providing affordable senior housing. We have staff who are trained and also knowledgeable about what would be available and most appropriate. So in conclusion, the quote that is something that leadership at JABA cares a lot about is the way the test of a civilization is the way it cares for its helpless members. We take it very seriously to make sure that we are providing the support and care so that everyone feels heard and validated and are greeted with an open door and connection to others, connection to support, and connection to referrals and information. So with that being said, I'm excited to share information with you about JABA. We consider Meals on Wheels an important partner to us in how we care for our community and for those who are in need, and would gladly take any questions that you may have.
Good morning. May I ask a question?
Yes, please.
What's the best way if we have a Meals on Wheels client that we think could use some other services? What's the best way to connect them to you?
I would give them, truthfully, I think to start at the beginning to make sure that we're not missing anything is to give them the main line. So 817-5222, JABA's main line, and they will get more than likely a referral to Sheila McGrath, who is our information and assistance counselor. And she will be able to do an assessment of what their needs might be, what services they might require. And she would then make a referral to the appropriate options counselor. So going in through that front door, I think is really helpful when we are just brand new starting to talk with someone. And of course, because of our connection and our relationship as well, if anything is ever presented to a Meals on Wheels staff member, or if they want to connect with someone with me directly, I can also help walk that individual through that process too. I hope that was helpful.
Emily and Casey, I'm going to jump in real quick and just say
Yeah.
thank you so much, both of you, for coming and talking to us more about, we get a lot of questions from volunteers, and sometimes Susan will get questions from people who aren't necessarily getting our services yet, and it's great to hear about how to refer them properly.
Yeah,
So I appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, and if there's, some things we've done in the past is developed like a way to share information about new services or programs, either with your volunteer coordinator, if we have something going on that we want to make sure the clients have accessibility to, and an understanding about. We can definitely share materials, promotional materials or resources, anything like that.
Thanks. Did anybody else have any other questions for Emily or Casey?
I have another question if no one else does. If I ask a second.
Of course.
Thank you. I also really appreciate you taking your time to share with us today. As I deliver the meals, I'm often struck by the fact that there are elderly people who I perceive are lonely that are living right down the block from one another. And I
Yeah.
wonder if there's any initiative or any program that sort of would match people, in the same neighborhood together to sort of, some of them are not very mobile, but some of them probably could, walk 3 houses down.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of kind of like within this specific community, matching up neighbors, we don't have a program for that, but I do hear exactly what you're saying in regards to individuals just, I think over time, they are just used to not venturing outside or so used to kind of being alone. They don't think to check in and connect with a neighbor. And isolation can lead to some very severe health impacts. So our program, for our Friendly Neighbor program, we absolutely have. We have friendly callers. We have volunteers who will check in on a daily basis with individuals in need. We have volunteers now who are slowly beginning to return to homes safely and engage with people. So if you are observing that on your route and have a concern, absolutely let us know. Call up, or you can connect with whomever your contact with, be it Meals on Wheels, and make sure that I'm aware and we can do the proper communication and put a referral in and get that person connected if they wish to be. Sometimes what we have observed is when an individual in the community is connected to a volunteer and they're engaging more or they're having visits, they may be more willing to step outside their front door and look down and see that they have a neighbor they could become friends with. It sort of opens the window and opens the door to kind of feeling more confident about socializing, and just helps their overall mentality.
So if any of the volunteers hear about, if someone expresses to you directly that they, are feeling lonely, you could potentially, mention JABA and then report back to Susan, who could then call them and say, it's a tree. It's kind of a, who's going to contact you. But if, like always, volunteers, if you all hear that someone is experiencing loneliness and would be willing to have Susan contact them and then make the referral, just let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of why I'm in here as well. I'm the volunteer manager at Meals on Wheels. So to all of our volunteers who are in here, you all have my contact information already, and please reach out to me if any clients talk about this kind of thing with you, and I can pass it on to Susan or pass it on to Emily or JABA. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some really amazing volunteers who just get the biggest kick and so much joy out of connecting with people and are just waiting for opportunities to do that. So I would believe we could meet the need pretty quickly.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We have this.
Yeah.
We've recorded this, which is great, so that we can send it out to all the volunteers who, are driving right now. and to other folks who might not have been able to make it. So this is really helpful. Thank you both. I really appreciate it.
Wonderful.
And
you're so welcome.
We'll wrap it up for today, and Emily will be in touch.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Have a
everybody.
great day. Bye.
Bye.